Chapter 2, Day 2. Florence, a city, pulsing with art. A journey into the heart of beauty. John woke up at the break of dawn in his modest room in Rome, his heart beating with excitement. He quickly packed his things and boarded the high-speed Italo train heading north to Florence. Seated by the window, he watched the Italian countryside glide past, rolling green fields and quaint villages that looked like oil paintings from the Renaissance. Florence, he murmured to himself, the city that gave us Da Vinci and Raphael. Surely something of their genius still lingers in these streets. He arrived at Santa Maria Novella station, greeted by the cool air mixed with the scent of fresh coffee and toasted bread. But John wasn't just any tourist. He was a seeker of stories, of moments worth remembering. Lost in a maze of art, his first stop was Piazza del Duomo, where he stood in awe before Florence's grand cathedral, its massive dome rising like a challenge to the sky. He spent an hour admiring the marble facade, the statues and carvings that seemed almost alive. He entered the cathedral and began the long climb up to the dome. With each step, his heart pounded, not just from the effort, but from anticipation. When he finally reached the top, all of Florence stretched beneath him, a sea of terracotta rooftops with the Tuscan hills on the horizon. Yet what caught his eye most wasn't the view. It was an old mosaic on a small inner wall, depicting a man pointing at a strange symbol etched into the ground. Intrigued, John approached, took a picture of the symbol, and jotted it down in his notebook. The inscription around it was mostly faded Latin, but one word remained clear: Secrets of Da Vinci. An unexpected encounter. As John exited the cathedral, he came across an elderly street artist painting masterfully in a corner of the square. He walked over and complimented the man's work. "Are you from Florence?" John asked. The old man, still mixing his paints, replied, "I am a child of this land, and art runs through my veins. But the real art, it's not just in museums, it's in alleys on forgotten walls, in eyes that look without truly seeing." Then he handed John an old worn map and said with a mysterious smile, "Follow these markings, and you'll discover a secret gallery very few have ever seen." John didn't hesitate. This was exactly what he came for, something beyond the tourist trail, a real adventure. At the heart of a hidden mystery, the map led him to the Oltrarno district, far from the tourist crowds where ancient stone houses stood undisturbed by time. He arrived at a small workshop with a half-open wooden door and knocked gently. An elderly woman answered, glanced at the map in his hand, and silently let him in. Inside, the room was dark, lit moments later by a single candle, like a flame from the past. On the walls were paintings in a style reminiscent of Leonardo da Vinci, some of them completely unknown. In front of one particular painting, John saw the same symbol he had discovered in the cathedral dome. It felt like he had stumbled upon a missing page from art history itself. He wrote in his notebook, "This isn't just a visit, it's a secret mission through time." A Renaissance dinner. As night fell, John returned to the city center and dined at an ancient restaurant nestled inside a medieval stone cellar that once served as a wine vault. He ordered the famous bistecca alla fiorentina, a thick-cut Florentine steak, grilled to perfection and served with extra virgin olive oil and rustic Tuscan bread. Nearby, a guitarist played traditional Italian melodies, while the waiter told him about the origins of the dish, explaining how food, music, and art once moved in harmony during the Renaissance. At the end of the day, John returned to his room, looked at the map, the symbols, and his notes, then wrote, "Today I wasn't just a traveler. I was an investigator in a lost gallery from Da Vinci's time. Florence didn't just show me its art, it made me part of its painting."